Well, hello everybody. David Bianco back with you again. Southwest Audio Fest here in Dallas, day one. Today I heard some speakers that knocked me over. And then when I found out how they were manufactured, I thought, well, that's the issue. You have to have the right design, the right quality, and the right emphasis in the right places in order to bring it all together to do something as good as this sounded. And I'm going to share with you the interview I did as they explain how these speakers are made. That's coming up next on the Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion. Well, if you've watched this channel for very long, you know I'm kind of big into manufacturing. That's where I spent my 45-year career before semi-retiring. I'm not doing a great job at retiring right now, but I'm working on it. But for me, manufacturing represents just the quintessential brainchild of people who come to engineering decisions and bringing together designs that make something new out of something old, the improvements that could be done, and the technologies that sometimes seem obvious get replaced by things that people up the ante on. And so today, as I was going through the Southwest Audio Fest, I ran across a group called the Audio Group Denmark. And they have 4 different sets of brands which are around supporting products like cables and power distribution. And there's a product group for amplifiers, streamers, phonostages, one for amplifiers alone, and then Boressen, which is loudspeakers. And that's who I'm going to be speaking about, is Boressen. And I had the chance to talk to one of their national sales managers out of the Midwest, and his name is Peter Hansen, Hansen. And he took the time to walk through the way their particular drivers are designed and manufactured. And all I can tell you is the outcome is stellar. From their lower end speakers all the way through their upper end $500,000 pair of speakers, these have amazing characteristics. And after the day had gone by and I'd done all my walking through different rooms, because I had checked out the Boressen very early in the morning, I had to come back and tell them, right now, boy, you guys, this still is the best sounding set of speakers that I've heard. So let's listen to what Peter Hansen has to say about this design, and we'll catch you on the other side of this interview.
I'll show you the core of our drivers. We make all our drivers ourselves in our factory in Aalborg, Denmark. As a matter of fact, all the products you see in here we make in-house. Audio Group Denmark, we make 4 brands. AVIC, which is our electronics line. We have Boressen, that's the speakers. ANS, who's our cables and accessories.
Great.
And the 4th brand we added about a year ago is the Access. And the only piece of the Access brand right now is the all-in that you just heard to hear.
Are those just the speakers or the whole system?
No, that's just the electronics. It's an integrated DAC streamer and headphone amp all in one box.
Ah, okay.
And that's the Forte 3, which has a retail of $11,000. Anyways, our drivers, the core of all our drivers, even in our flagship $550,000 M6s, consist of 3 layers. 2 layers of spread toe carbon with a piece of Nomex honeycomb in between. Once you sandwich that together, you get this. So you get a cone that is as hardened steel, but only weighs about 5 grams for the whole assembly.
Wow.
So low mass, high power, you get this kind of sound that you're hearing in here. On our motor systems, we use, this is a neodymium piece of motor system, but you see the 2 copper rings?
Oh, yeah.
So the area where the voice coil is moving, it's copper. That's how we can maintain like an inductor is about 20% of any other driver in the marketplace.
Gotcha.
And you mean that makes the driver interact easier with the amplifier? Another thing we do, most people, well, shit, all are using aluminum as a voice coil material. This looks cool, right? But I can tell you for sound, it's not good. This is resistance.
Ah,
And this is created by eddy current or hysteresis.
sure.
Because of the aluminum, when it comes into another magnetic field, that's happening.
Ah,
So how do you
yes.
fix that? You use titanium. Then you have that going.
Drops. Yep.
Even on our entry-level X series speakers, you have this in all
Really?
drivers.
So there's no resistance there.
No resistance and low inductance. I guess you have the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. So
But also to explain a little bit more about the M6s you saw over there, we go all out on that.
yeah.
If you're looking at a motor system, it's an ironless motor system. There's no iron in it, so you don't have any iron distortion. So this is the most powerful, most expensive neodymium magnets you can buy, with a solid silver ring in between that's sandwiched together. That creates the flux area for the voice coil to move in. There's a 0.5 kilogram of pure silver here. This chassis, or basket I should say, is made from 3D printed zirconium. Because what Michael Boressen, the designer, once, he said, I wanted to mimic the same free flow you get on the front of a driver, you also want in the back. You only want material where it needs to be for strength.
Right.
This printed zirconium basket cost us $3,000 our cost to manufacture. And 0.5 kilogram of silver in each driver, you do the math.
Yeah, how many speakers
There's
are in
12
that?
drivers.
12 drivers.
So there's 6 kilos of pure silver and 12 baskets at $3,000.
Yeah, adds up.
Yeah. But then the cone, as I said, we are using the same inner cone like that, the spectrocarbon, Nomex and spectrocarbon.
Yeah.
But on the top, we have an extra 4th layer. And that is a piece of thin titanium that is half the thickness of a piece of paper. That gets put in as well. And then we send it to Technological Institute in Aarhus, Denmark. And they have a particle accelerator machine that bombards 5 different types of material onto the surface that gets embedded into it.
Wow.
So now you have
yes.
literally a driver that's as hard as hardened steel, but it weighs under
Very
6
light.
grams for the whole assembly line. And it will never break up, no diffraction, anything from the movement of the driver.
See how heavy? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of precious metal.
Yeah. If you're looking at here, I mean, just to give you an idea, you see this difference here and here and here, right? Why is there more material here? Well, that's because that's the top of the driver. You don't want the driver to do this.
Correct.
So you need more strength here.
Yes.
So Michael's program figured out how to topology optimize the whole chassis.
Shift the center of gravity.
Yeah. So the driver really gets out of the way. The basket gets out of the way.
Yeah.
Making the free flow of it.
Yeah, and that titanium in there with no resistance, you know, also that creates a cleaner path.
Yeah. So, and with the low inductance, this has even lower inductance than the other ones because there's no iron distortion. So you have about 1/10 of the inductance of any driver. So any modest amplifier can take grip off the drivers.
Yeah.
And make the right starts and stops. And that's where you're getting this kind of detail and sound staging and all the stuff that you heard.
Right. So on these that I just listened to, how much power does it take to drive that?
These are very easy to drive. They don't go below, I think, like 5.8 ohms or something.
Okay.
And then with the
SPL on those?
It's about 89 dB.
89. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're easy to drive. But last but not least I think is the brain of the operation, and that's our ribbon planar tweeter.
Yep.
Again, it's a very lightweight. We're about low mass, high power. And this is, in this case, the most powerful N52 neodymium magnets money can buy that's used in our tweeter. Just to give an idea of what the motor system is driving, I'll show you here. This is actually the diaphragm, the membrane.
Okay.
It weighs 1/100th of a gram.
Boy, that's light.
1/100th of a millimeter thick. And it can actually withstand heat up to over 600 Celsius.
Wow.
So there's no breakup. That's the problem with tweeters, especially dome tweeters. The more mass you have, the more energy stores.
Right.
Energy re-releases, that creating breakups in the
breaks. Yep, sure.
You're not going to have that in this ribbon planar.
Wow.
And this is the driver itself is 94 dB efficient.
Wow. Nice.
That's why you're hearing this smooth sound.
Very smooth.
And extended, and
Yeah. And the other thing is like where, you close your eyes, it's like, where is the tweeter?
I will play before you leave. I'll play a cut with some piano on it so you can really hear, because a piano note is really hard to reproduce. And the decay should carry on regardless of what else goes on in the music.
Gotcha.
And I have a piece of track that I'll play for you. You can hear what's
Good.
going on there.
Sounds great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's in a nutshell is, what's under the hood that you can't see. But
well,
you certainly can hear. Right?
You certainly can hear. And now it's like you kind of get an idea of why it does what it does.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. I appreciate it very much.
Have a seat and I'll play some more.
We'll do. So I want to thank Peter Hansen for taking the time to walk through that design and fabrication process that was done for those particular speakers in the Boressen series. I also heard one of the gentlemen who was the lead designer in that in a room for another organization that reps that product here in the Dallas area, and got more detail from him as well. But really with the kit there where he could show us the pieces, parts, and methodologies that go into that, I think it gave a pretty good idea of the elaboration of engineering and special processes that went into that to get that hardness and to deal with that resistance issue that normally aluminum has to contend with, that titanium does not have to contend with. All of these things add up in the end. And all I know is when I listened to these, before I knew anything about all of that, I knew something was different. And it really got me in a sense that I just experienced something that was very different. And there's a lot of great speakers in these particular shows. There's a lot of great designs. But these just really struck me for the kind of sound that really is compatible with what I find enriching. And it was just, was more than what I would have expected given some of the price points of those last speakers that we saw there where the song Imagine was being played. And all I can say is that tune with the piano is that the fact that I had a lapel mic on doesn't do it justice to maybe what the phone could have picked up on its own. But it really represents some amazing engineering, some critical thinking and out-of-the-box thinking, and applying that to this design, which yields really such a unique and sweet sound across the spectrum. So I hope you enjoyed this little background look at how this speaker is designed. I found it extremely interesting and beneficial. So as always, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so by clicking on the bell, and a like or thumbs up is appreciated for the algorithm, as well as any comments or questions you might have. So for now, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on our next Safe and Sound Texas audio excursion. Take care, everybody.